Okay, welcome back to live racing here at Nashville. Sorry for that delay. We had a little bit of a glitch in the software, and we are here on lap 5. And just as we came back, we've got a caution. Cody Goodwin spun. Yeah, here's Cody Goodwin. Cody is in the number 9 car nationwide. Looks like he lost it coming off of, I think that's turn 4. Nope, that was turn 2. No, it's just, it stopped work. Oh. Go ahead, John. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Gotcha. All right, so we still got a few technical difficulties to work out here. We're going to continue to try and get those resolved. Well, we are under caution here. This is lap 7 of 100.
Hey, 10-4, hold on. You may be able to hear me.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Sorry, but I don't know what happened, but I can now hear myself.
I think that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Rick. So, yeah, first caution of the night, which, it happens here, but, I was thinking the turn 4 monster was going to be affected these drivers, but it's actually the turn 2 monster, which when I was saying that when you could not hear me. So, I'm going to comment out to, let's see, Elliot Swope commented out. Can't hear me? Yep, well, now you can hear me, Elliot. And let's see, who else have we got on the chat tonight? Okay, working through some technical difficulties there. All right, so yeah, it looks like we're all good. Stone, I can hear myself now. But yeah, Rick, so, let's kind of go through what we talked about at the beginning of the race. It's a 100-lap race, 60% fuel, 40 laps on a fuel run. We've gotten a caution already a few laps in, 1 quick repair, 3 sets of tires, and like I mentioned before, it's a 100-lap shootout here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. It's always a fun track, multiple lanes to drive in, and talking through some keys of the race, we mentioned before tires are definitely going to play a factor in this, and being patient with them, as well as your fuel strategy, and also being able to use multiple lines on the track, because it is a fairly wide track.
Absolutely. So we're still under yellow here, but lights are off on the top of the pace car, so we are back to forming up to go back to green.
As we can see right now, we have the 77 machine of Amick right next to the 8 machine, which is on the track, but the 40 machine of Jeff Nani. Great to see those two guys out front, followed by Brad Stock in 3rd, Robley in 4th, and Chris Worrell in 5th.
We have Freddie Durstock is in 7th. Mike Carpenter is in 8th, and Christopher Howell in 9th. Had some early retirees, so the field is a little narrow for tonight, but should make for some good green flag racing.
Absolutely. Good green flag racing for sure. And, smaller fields can produce that. And that's not something that is a bad thing at times, It can alleviate a little bit of the accordion effects. It can give people enough space to run and get their car set in and everything, as we are now green back at the track. And what a jump by Evan. Wow. He was like, see you guys. I'm just going to go. I'm not waiting for y'all. So we are green here again at Nashville Super Speedway. And this is going right into what I was talking about, Rick. Multiple lines. You got cars down low, cars up high. So many different lines to run around this place.
Absolutely. In fact, you'll see that just as you saw there. We should see those different lines, whether it happens to be coming out of 1 and 2 through 3 and 4 through the D oval. It's just really anywhere you feel your car is going to work best. This track affords you that opportunity.
Absolutely, as we are now looking on with the number 8 machine there. He's got some heat behind him. Good to see that, though.
Challenge at the front of the pack, and you've got Chris Worrell jumping ahead of Evan Amick.
Wow, what a move. What a move just to put himself out front in that beautiful black and green 6 machine. Looking good tonight, leading that lap for sure.
Looks like Jeff Neeney is pressing Evan for that 2nd and 3rd spot as they battle there, and also some good battles back in the back. We'll jump back here and see what's happening in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th slot. You've got Christopher Howell moving up on the outside, and now we're 3 wide.
A lot of battling on the track right now, especially for 4th on back. As you can see, who is that right there? Let me see. That is Christopher Howell. And then you have Michael Carpenter going by Kenneth Bradstock there. So good move by Carpenter right there, as we have a little bit of a stack up coming off of 4 with Cody Goodwin and Christopher Howell looking low on him. So what a move by that machine right there out of Christopher Howell. Got a little bit of damage on the right side, but it is still a solid move. They are still side by side. And that's the thing here. If you get side by side, you can run. I mean, you can run side by side and still keep it pretty consistent if both drivers keep their line. As you can see, the 20 car just dives right in, and Carpenter's going to follow.
Well, we thank you for joining us here at the iRacing Warrior Motorsports event here in Nashville. Again, my name is Rick Souza, and my co-host tonight is John DeRudris. We want to restate that since we had some earlier audio problems. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we appreciate you watching a recruitment race here with the iRacing Warrior Motorsports Leagues. I know that this is our second to last recruitment event, and then we go into our season starting May 4th, and they'll open their inaugural season in Las Vegas.
Oh, gotta love opening in Vegas. And you never know, you may see me on the track out there at some point in time. You never know. But speaking about Las Vegas and speaking about somebody that's hot right now, look at that 6 machine. It's already pulled out a 3-second lead on the entire field. Chris Worrell's just putting out a clinic right now with just only 16 to 17 laps in. So what a race by him, pulling out to over 3.5 seconds now.
So we're back up with Jeff Neeney. Jeff is in 2nd place, followed by Christopher Howell and Michael Carpenter. You've got Evan Amick in the 77 behind Mr. Carpenter. Cody Goodwin in 6th place. Kenny Bradstock in 7th. Christopher Robley in 8th. And Freddie Durstock in 9th.
Absolutely. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a look at some coming to the line right now. Christopher Howell just ran a 30.7, and Jeff Nannini just ran a 31.3. So you have very different lap times coming out of those two camps right now, as you see a pass for 2nd place. Christopher Howell's running there, and followed by Michael Carpenter. So, let me ask you this, Rick: is the 6 car pushing it too hard too early?
Well, I think I was going to say that the 8 car of Jeff Nini worked really hard to get up earlier in his place after that restart, and I think he's got some tire wear happening now, and his times are representative about where he is on the track.
Absolutely. And this past time around, Chris ran a 30.8, and Chris Worrell ran a 30.8. Christopher Howell ran a 31 flat. So you still got a little bit of separation in the laps there, as we are now seeing a little bit of action on the track a little bit further on back. Everybody kind of is, taking their time, spreading out a little bit, giving each other room. The closest battle right now is really between that second and third position of Howell and Carpenter. Everybody else is pretty much spread out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle between these two. And, we've seen both of these drivers before in previous events. Christopher Howell he's won 1 or 2 races. So seeing these guys battle is pretty indicative, I think, of what we will see for the rest of tonight.
Absolutely. It's the Chris and Chris show right now. 2 Christophers leading the field. And, I can't say enough about what the number 6 machine's doing out there. He is up to over 5 seconds now already, which is, in just 20 laps, that's pretty impressive to do. I'd be a little bit worried if he may be overdriving the car, but...
Well, hey, why don't we do this, John? Why don't we jump in the car and we can ride along with Chris Worrell and just see what his line looks like and how he's approaching this track.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is the back stretch. He came out at 2. We're in the high line. Looks like a pretty good corner entry. He backed it up pretty good. He is definitely running down low all the way to the apron.
Pretty consistent, holding it. Let's see what his lap time is there. 30.7.
A time.
Yeah, he's letting it kind of float down into the corner. There's a little bit of, you can hear the tires squeal just a tad, but other than that, though, pretty solid line out of the 6 machine.
Let's go on with Michael Carpenter, who ran a 38.8 that last lap. You can see how Michael's running this. Kind of similar, running right down to the apron out of 4, up to the wall on the front stretch, down to the apron on the start-finish line. And then
he ran an identical lap to his last lap time. So very consistent lines out of these guys, and that's good to see from these drivers out here, especially from Carpenter and Worrell, the 1 and 2 place cars right now.
So that's a fairly big gap. That's 5.7 second interval between first and second of Michael Carpenter. Michael's still in a pretty heated battle with Chris Howell. There's just a couple car lengths separating those 2 competitors. Evan Amick in the 4th place is running a bit farther back, but running kind of all by himself. And then we got this group of 3. This is Jeff Nini, Kenny Bradstock, and Cody Goodwin running back here together for 5th, 6th, and 7th position.
Oh, car up in the wall. I believe that was Jeff Nini. Have to maybe go back and look at that.
Well, he's definitely got some right side damage for sure.
I don't know if that was on that last lap, but he is definitely off pace for sure. Unfortunate out of the 8 machine, because he qualified really, really well.
Yeah, so he actually qualified in 3rd place.
And 3rd place, and now he's dropped down to 7th. So a little unfortunate there out of that machine. But as we can see, the top 3, 4 separated by just 2, 3 tenths of a second there. So it's definitely going to be an interesting battle on the track as the lead has dwindled down a little bit to about 5.5, 5.6. So Carpenter is slowly reeling them in. Slowly.
Well, I think it's also because these two guys are battling. You can see they've stepped up their game. They're working together, and two cars, no matter what track you're on, is going to be faster than one, and they could be able to chase down that leader. Now, as we talked about earlier, you've got approximately 40 or so laps on a tank of fuel. No one has pitted at this point. We're pretty early in this stage, so it's anybody's game at this point.
Absolutely it is. And just to see, we're getting closer to that window, so we may see some early pit stops. And, if I was these guys, and I know it's going to be about 40 laps on a tank, I would already just make a plan and come down possibly now. Because if you pit now, you're looking at about 70, and then you should be good to go to the end. Yeah. So,
well, let me just interject. Race Control has just informed me that these guys did pit on lap 6, 7, 8 when that first caution came out. So Chris Worrell, Freddie Durstock, Michael Carpenter, a lot of these guys came into pit lane. So they're working on about 24 laps of fuel and rubber.
Got it. So you'll probably see them here in the next 10, 15 laps, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So that's kind of right on schedule, I would think.
Right.
So as we see the 5 car and Christopher Howell are not separating. They're pretty close together.
Interesting, on that first pit stop, Michael Carpenter took all 4 tires in fuel. Christopher Howell, just fuel.
Wow. Impressive. I mean, that kind of shows you a little bit about tire wear here. They didn't run many laps in that first stint, but they did run enough to what I would think would be a difference, but that 70 car of Howell is keeping up with the 5.
He sure is, and we've seen Christopher Howell do this before. He has exhibited some fabulous skills in tire saving, and from his previous races he's done here on the iRacing Warrior Motorsports recruitment races. So I would expect nothing else from this guy but the ability to save his tires and use them when he needs to.
As we can see now, the lead's back up to about 6.5 seconds. Kind of a clinic by the number 6 machine. Kind of everybody else is spread out besides the 2nd and 3rd place car. So, we're just going to kind of keep an eye on this battle here because that number 6 is checked out.
He has absolutely. He's got almost a 7-second gap going on right now over Carpenter and Christopher Howell. And they in themselves have nearly a 6-second gap between the neck, and then it just goes on from there. So,
and what I think you'll see. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say Jeff Nini has fallen all the way back. He's nearly 21 seconds off the leader at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with Jeff there, it's probably a lot of that damage. It definitely will affect how these cars drive with the toe links. So you may see a little bit of that coming into effect and maybe offset just a tad. But, as we were mentioning before, we have basically a 6 to 7 second gap between 1st and 2nd. We have about a 6-second gap between 3rd and 4th. So what this is going to come down to, I don't think there's going to be many cautions. This is going to come down to how well you can get on and off pit road. And as long as you don't slide through your pit stalls, this race is going to come down to that pit strategy and who can be the cleanest. Because even if you slide through your pit stop just a little bit, you'll lose a couple seconds of time.
Absolutely. So just to kind of put it in perspective, Chris Worrell, who's leading this race, he started in the 8th position, I believe, from the starting grid.
Yes, he did. He started in 8th, a little bit kind of the tail end of the field, though, middle tail end of the field. And you can see he's making his way all the way back up. And, Carpenter started 10th. So, great moves to get them into this 1st and 2nd spot. And even Christopher Howell, he started in 7th as well. So a lot of the guys that are in the back coming up through the front, and a lot of the guys who are in the front kind of getting their way back in the back of the pack, as we still see these this 5 and the 20 not really separating from each other. You know, it's a little bit of a gap, about 3 to 4, 5, 10 second gap, but still nothing to really look at now. We got everybody kind of spread out.
So why don't we take this opportunity? We'll go back and we'll highlight each driver. So right now we'll start with Chris Worrell, who is currently our leader.
Absolutely, in that beautiful green number 6, black and green number 6.
In second place, we've got Michael Carpenter.
Yeah, gotta love Carp.
Yep, Greenville, Tennessee.
Yep, Tennessee boy. He got a little loose there, but got that one of our drivers. Good to see him doing well.
In third place, we're highlighting Mr. Christopher Howell.
Yeah, I got that beautiful Chemical Guys Toyota Camry, one of the only Toyota Camrys in the field. Not many Toyotas, but he is running up there good, making a good show for the Toyotas.
And in third place, we have Evan Amick, who's about to trade his spot with Cody Goodwin.
Yeah, he did. Cody Goodwin and Evan there trading spots just a little bit. You got Evan in the KISS card. You got Cody in the Nationwide on your side Chevrolet.
Back in sixth place, you've got Kenneth Bradstock in the 74.
Yep, always good to see him repping that podcast as well. Hope that's all doing well over there in Kenneth's camp.
In seventh, we've got Chris Robley from Billion, Wisconsin.
Absolutely, and you know that's a very interesting paint scheme, having the bright blue Southern E Motorsports paint scheme there out of the 85 camp. Still really cool paint scheme.
See, when I just see that color, I'm thinking it's either a Clemson or a Broncos. Or it could be a Gator, yeah.
I think Florida. But I could see Clemson. I could see Denver for sure.
All right, and back here in eighth is Jeff Neely from Newcastle, PA.
Yep, he's rocking that basically Tyler Reddick scheme, and God, I picked Tyler Reddick to win the race this weekend, Rick, and I was pretty sad. Because he was my main guy, and he got taken out by Chase Briscoe, and then Kyle Busch won. So, you know, it's whatever happens, but still awesome. Bass Pro Shop number 8 machine.
Well, you just saw him going a lap down to Christopher Worrell.
Yeah, that 6 car is on rails right now. He has made his gap up to 8 well, let me rephrase that. It's increasing by the second, up to over 9 seconds now on Michael Carpenter.
Yep. And rounding out the field in ninth, you've got Freddie Durstock.
Good old Freddie Durstock running that number 23 DraftKings Toyota Camry machine. I believe the only other Camry in the field. You know, he's got the boogity on that driver information right there, but always a cool paint scheme seeing that 23 on the track, DraftKings sponsoring that car. But that is basically your entire field right there, Rick.
It is. So 2 folks are a lap down. Jeff Neely and Freddie Durstock have been passed by Chris Worrell. Now we are at lap 44, and I am guessing that we could see some green flag pit stops coming up relatively soon.
Absolutely, and you should be able to kind of see that, I would think, from some people in the middle of the pack, because of the fact that everybody is so spread out. Somebody may try to do a little short pit action. Not really sure, but we may see some pit road action coming up pretty soon.
Well, we'll stay with the different groups that are on the field, and this is Michael Carpenter in second with Christopher Howell in third. Cody Goodwin is in fourth. We'll jump back to Cody's car here.
Yeah, there's Cody running a strong race there.
Oh, it looks like, here we go. It looks like the first person we have coming down pit road is Evan Amick.
Yes, it is. He is coming down on pit road. And, you know, this is what I was talking about, Rick. You got to keep your pit stops clean.
Oh, next person in, looks like Chris Robley is also on pit road. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of folks coming in.
Yeah, we got Carpenter coming down. We got Howell coming down. Got a bunch of guys on pit road right now, but that
We
six
do.
machine is still out there. He is still making his laps. He is now probably going to lap the entire field, Rick.
Yeah, but he's due in for a pit stop as well.
Yeah, definitely pushing lap 48 here. He should be coming down, I would imagine.
I'd be surprised if we don't see him come down in this next cycle. So all the folks that were on pit road all got full set of Goodyear rubber and full tank of fuel.
And, you know, even with Chris running the laps that he is still running low 31, which is amazing.
It sure is. He's got this track dialed in with his setup for sure.
Absolutely. And that's something, you know, we got to give a shout out to, because he has been able to put on a clinic here in that number 6 black and green machine as we see him coming down pit road, Rick.
Yep. Leader's going to be on pit road. Leader's on pit road here.
We knew it was going to happen. He's got about 22 seconds right now on that second place machine, I believe. So we may see a lead change.
So he was able to stretch this out to 50 laps.
Wow.
So are we thinking that maybe he can do it in, this is it? It's possible.
It's going to be close. I don't know if I would bet, but I mean, it's going to be a close one, I got to say. If fuel window's 40, you got to save 10 laps of gas. And only 40 laps, I mean, that's not much time to save that much gas. And he is off.
The field has cycled through. We'll see how Chris Worrell exits.
Absolutely. That second place car is just now passing the start finish line, so I believe that 6 machine is going to stay in the lead. Well, no, I take that back. Cody Goodwin is now in the lead. On the board, it looks like the number 9 machine has taken the top spot from what I'm seeing on my control.
Yeah, but the last time Cody Goodwin has been in the pits is lap 6. So
and he is coming down.
There we go.
Oh, he's sliding a little bit, He made it. Yep,
he got it. He got
back it down. Alrighty,
so the last car who have not pitted at this point is Freddie Durstock, and I imagine he's probably going to be headed in soon.
And I just got to say, what happened with Michael Carpenter? He's stuck on pit road. He's 4 laps down.
Don't know. He may have had some kind of technical issue with his car, but yeah, we're not seeing him up front anymore.
Yeah, something definitely happened with that number 5 machine.
So as you would expect, our leader is back to being Chris Worrell. Cody Goodwin is now off of pit road.
Yeah, I'm looking back and seeing if I can figure out what's going on with this 5 car. It just looks like he's just stuck on pit road. I don't know. He just hasn't moved.
Yep.
No damage, but
Freddie Durstock and Chris Robley are both in the pits right now.
So they're probably both going to go a lap down, I would imagine, if they're coming down. And we do have a battle going on between the 20 car and the 8 car. Battle as in a lap down car battling a second place car. So that's the closest battle we got on the track right now, which is not really a battle, but.
No, it is not. So the field has kind of settled back in. We've got a breakaway lead with Chris Worrell over Christopher Howell. Chris Worrell just set a 30.64 in that last lap. So fresh tires certainly being the difference maker there.
Absolutely it is. And just to give you some updates, the quickest time in qualifying was a 30.61, and he just ran a 30.63. So he is running qualifying laps out here, and basically qualifying or running faster than all these qual laps. Looking through, you got 32s, you got low 31s. I mean, he is on an absolute rail tonight. Shout out to that number 6.
Oh, Reckon. Looks like I just saw Jeff Neeney in the wall.
Yep,
at
Jeff
the
Neeney
start
in the wall.
finish line. All right, so we are back under caution. We can take a quick look at what happened there.
Rick, you know what I said about that monster?
That turn 4 bit him.
Yeah, it looks like it did.
Here we go. He's coming out of 4 now. Well, you know, tried to save it, overcorrected, and
almost got hit by the number 85 machine. I'm just going to give a shout out to that number 85 car because that 8 machine was kind of rolling back up the track just a little bit. A shout out to the 50 or the 85 there for missing that one.
Yep, that's Chris Robley.
Yep. So we had our second caution of the night, first one on the broadcast due to technical difficulties, but second caution on the night here at Nashville Super Speedway. We are 58 laps in, 57, 58 laps in with 44 to go.
I'm going to see if I can raise Chris Howell and see if I can get him and bring him up. Let's see. Chris Howell.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we've brought you into the broadcast booth with John Drugis and myself. How's it going out there?
It's going pretty good. I'm getting my butt whooped right now, but it's all right.
About to say you're getting beat out by another Christopher. How does that feel? Who's going to be the better Chris tonight?
I think we're pointing at each other right now.
Got to say you're doing a great job out there, and you know what? At this point of the race, what is kind of your goal to get past that number 6 machine, because no one's really been able to get around him?
Well, I hope I just have more fuel than him, and it just goes green from here, because unless he went in right then, he don't have enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, I think he just went in as well. So, yep. Well,
yep,
we wish you luck for the rest of the race, and good luck. And we'll talk to you later, hopefully at the end of the broadcast.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
That was Christopher Howell in. Took an opportunity to chat with him during our caution and let him go back on the track. Got a few other takers coming down pit road, topping back off. In fact, I think
he just went down.
He did. He's come back to add just another splash of gas back in that number 20 car. So,
absolutely. You know, you can never be too safe, especially with 43 to go. That is a lot more of a comfortable number to be able to make it. And we saw that there with what Chris Worrell was able to do. I mean, we're going to get the green probably with exactly 40 to go. So you are right there on the fuel window. So if you're able to just let it off just a little bit more coming into the corners and get back a little bit slower, you may be able to save just enough to go an entire fuel run and basically make it to the start-finish line without running out of gas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, Rick.
Should be interesting with our end of our I guess it's our second half of the race, pretty much the last 42 laps to finish this one here at Nashville with our iRacing Warriors Motorsports Recruitment race.
Absolutely, and Chris Worrell, let's kind of go through the field really quick just to give a shout out to all these drivers. Chris Worrell is in that number 1 position, followed by Cody Goodwin, Christopher Howell in 3rd, Evan Amick in 4th, Kenneth Bradstock in 5th, Jeff Nene in showing up 6th, 1 lap down, Freddie Durstock 7th, 1 lap down, Christopher Robley 4 laps down to the 8th position, and unfortunately Michael Carpenter, I believe he is still stuck on pit road, Rick.
Yep, he has parked it there on pit road. Same thing with Dan Withers. So field has again narrowed with the drivers that we've got out there, the 7 that are continuously battling here. Although Christopher Worrell, it's really going to come down to what this field can do to keep up with Christopher Worrell.
Yeah, that 6 machine is definitely going to be, one of the strongest contenders to win this race, and we can see what Howell can do behind him, and that may be a good position to try to buy that 9 machine on this restart here. Get right up against that number 6 car and really push that 6 to the good lead, and then so he can keep up. Because I would say you got to stay in his draft a little bit to even be able to keep up with him, Rick.
So the lights are out on the pace car, so we're coming to the green flag.
We are about to go green here again at Nashville Super Speedway. Got some drivers catching up in the back, and we are about to be green.
Careful,
we got a little
careful.
bit of back up in the back, but we are green. Yeah, a little antsy there with those guys in the back. I want to get my laps back as the 6 machine is driving down hard into turn 1.
Well, I think they got the wave around, and it was hard to get back. A mile and a third, it's not much time to get back to the pack at that point.
Absolutely.
So all these guys are pretty much out here on fresh rubber and full fuel. I'm guessing they've got to get at least a few laps to get some heat in those tires and break them in, or they're going to wind up slipping and sliding through.
Absolutely. Yeah, you saw a little wiggle out of that number machine there, just as you were saying. And that 70 car is on the tail of Cody as he's looking to his outside just a little bit coming out of turn 2. That 70 machine wants that second place spot for sure. As you can see, that number 9 loose.
Yeah, he's trying to hold on to that second place position. I'm not sure if he's going to hold it much longer. It almost looks like he's holding Christopher Howell up a little bit and working around him, but they're running relatively the same line.
Absolutely, but they're able to keep up with the 6 machine. And this is what's going to be interesting, is what that 6 machine can do if somebody can contest with him. And we haven't seen anybody try to battle him at all. So they're right there, keeping up with him.
Well, that last lap, you had Christopher Worrell running a 30.58. That's better than qualifying speed that lap. But Cody Goodwin, a 30.72, and the Christopher Howell running a 30.67.
Yeah, these guys are on rails out here, and it makes a little sense because they're on a little bit of a line. As you can see, Christopher Howell going around the number 9 machine. So this is the Chris and Chris show. Who is going to be the best Chris tonight out of these two guys? Because we got the basically, take your pick, ladies and gentlemen. You got the black and green machine of Christopher Worrell in the 6, and you got the blue, white, and red, white, and blue machine of the 70 of Christopher Howell.
Well, hopefully Chris Howell can stay on the tail. Now Christopher Howell ran a 30.51 that last lap.
Yeah, he's definitely in the tow as they are now coming back around. Let's see what these lap times are. 30.6 out of Worrell, and you've got a 30.6 out of Howell. Very close lap times out of these two drivers.
Well, I think Christopher Howell realizes that it's 33 laps to go, and now it's time to make a move.
Absolutely, and I think you got to do it sooner rather than later, because that lead is slowly increasing ever so slightly, half a tenth a lap. As we can see, it's kind of on that last lap. You have Christopher Worrell with a 30.7, Christopher Howell with a 30.8.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an incident a little while ago. We didn't pick it up on track as we were following the leaders. Freddie Durstock went off the track. We can take a quick peek and see just what happened there. Freddie's in the 23 DraftKings car, And turn 4 bit him.
No, the turn 4 monster got another one.
It did. As Freddie made his way grass there.
Yeah, unfortunate for that 23 machine because he was doing so well in the race, even though he was a little left down. But, we saw him do that a little bit in practice too, Rick. So it's definitely a trouble spot for drivers. And I mentioned it before, gotta be careful with your throttle control. Throttle control is huge, especially off of 4. That 70 car is caught up to the 6.
Yeah,
so a little bit of battle going on.
Last lap, Chris Worrell and from first did a 30.66. Christopher Howell in second, 30.54. So I think the gauntlet was thrown down at that last caution, and Chris Howell has picked it up.
Absolutely, and he's 100% in the toe of that 6 car. The draft is playing major effects, especially going into the corner for sure. As they dive it down into turn 3, coming up on turn 4, you see that 70 machine dive down a little bit lower than that 6 machine, try to get a nice solid run. Lead back up to about 4 or 5 tenths of a second there. Yeah, Christopher Howell looks like he has a really good entry into 1 and 2. 1 and 2 seems to be where he's picking up most of the time.
Yeah, of course, that's a relatively aggressive move going down there to the bottom of the turn, right at the apron there. You can only do that for so long until you begin to experience some significant right front tire wear on this concrete surface.
Absolutely, and that's something that we're starting to notice a little bit, Rick. The number 70 car is going to be better in 1 and 2, and the 6 car is better in 3 and 4. So you may have a little bit of a product of being too aggressive in 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, the tires are so hot that they're not able to withstand the grip level that's necessary, that what Howell wants to put down now. But as you can see, it's still back up to about a half a tenth a lap, or 5 tenths of a gap between those two drivers right now.
Saw Cody Goodwin on that last through the turn exit onto out of 2 on the backstretch, got a little squirrely there. I think that it's still corner exit and corner entry play a key here at Nashville.
They absolutely do, and that's where you can make up or lose the most amount of time. And if you're able to figure out exit, especially on 4, you can put down some bad fast laps, as we've seen the 6 do all night.
So interestingly enough, that last lap you had Chris Worrell with a 30.84, Christopher Howell with a 30.83, but Cody Goodwin ran a 30.68. So
wow.
He has begun to claw his way back up and try to turn this into a 3-car battle.
Absolutely, and just looking at that alone, Chris Worrell ran a 30.7, Christopher Howell ran a 30.7, Cody Goodwin 30.6. So we see that engine number 9 coming to life here in that Nationwide is on your side Chevrolet. We'll see what he can do and make this maybe a 3-way battle come to the end, with we are coming to 24 to go.
Well, all these guys have enough fuel on board to finish this race based on their gas and go when they filled up last time on lap 57 to 58. So it's really just this. It's, barring that there's no cautions, we did have another incident that was out of the sights of the leaders here. Jeff Needy went off track. Let's kind of get a peek at what happened in that event real quick.
Yeah, let's take a peek, see what happened with Jeff.
Turn 4.
Turn 4 again, Rick. Especially as these tires wear, you're going to see a lot of these drivers start to get a little loose. For sure, 100%.
Folks are probably getting tired of hearing us talk about turn 4, but it is one of the keys of the race.
Absolutely it is. And, good job by Jeff keeping it down there and not coming back up the track.
Well, that saved us a caution because I'm pretty sure Chris Worrell does not want a caution at this point.
Nope, and looking back at Cody Goodwin fell back about 5/10 of a second there. Not sure what happened out of the 9 camp, but he was on the prowl. Now he kind of dropped back a little bit, running about 3/10 off of the leaders. So we may see a little bit of that wear coming into effect with that 9 car. He may have been pushing it a little too hard.
May have. Yeah, I would, based on those earlier times that we saw, that would be my first feeling. So we've got the leaders passing Jeff Nini here.
And hopefully everything goes smoothly there. Yep, looks like it's all good and ready to go.
Looks to be.
So, and Hal is on the prowl. I'm going to quote that. That's the thing now. IWM, that is a statement that we can now say we are trademarking that specifically for that 70 machine.
Hal is on the prowl.
Hal is on the prowl. And he is running almost identical lap times with Worrell right now. They're really interchanging times. One runs at 30.6, the other one runs at 30.7, vice versa.
Yeah, they've extended their lead over Cody Goodwin. I think Cody gave it a good attempt. He's fallen back now with that last lap time at the 32.11. Pretty sure at this point he is pretty much taking a pretty big bite out of the quality of his tires at this point. So.
Absolutely. We just got 19 to go, Rick. So we are less than a fifth of the way. Well, we're not a fifth of the way. Let me take that back. We are about a fifth of the way left. A fifth of the race left. Wow, it's late, guys. About a fifth of the race left here tonight. And that 70 machine is closing in. He's been running some fast lap times. And this is what I was talking about, Rick, is that 6 machine, clean air's great and everything, but I had a little bit of a feeling that the 6 may be driving it a little harder out front than he may have should have, but still, he's still maintaining a solid lead. But there's turn 1 and turn 2. You can see that 70 gain just a little bit.
Well, I mean, that last lap time was a 30.77 for Chris Worrell, and then a 30.79 with Christopher Howell. So they are thousandths of a second apart.
He's right there on the bumper, and this is what I was talking about.
18 laps to go.
Yep, turn 3 and 4 is the 70's kryptonite right now. He does a great turn 1 and turn 2, but turn 3 and turn 4 just seems to be off, and you can just see it right there where he gains on entry and then able to stabilize it off. So we'll see what happens going here in the entries. The entries seem to be the 70's favor. Exit seems to be the 6's favor.
Well, he's going to have to make a move at some point if he's going to have a chance to jump ahead of the number 6.
He is, and it's got to come soon because this race is winding down. We are now at 16 to go, and there's not much time left, Rick. There's not much time at all for that number 70. And he may be pulling a little. I'm going to just stay behind you and keep the pressure on, get your heart rate up, and maybe you make a mistake and I just slip right around and take the win from you. So, he's not going to try to pull a Kyle Busch because we don't have 3 cars up there. So the first and second place guys can't wreck.
Christopher was a little bit loose coming off of 4 that time.
Yeah, just a little bit. I saw that too. So we got the 70 going up the high, taking that second lane, and here's another key to the race: multiple lanes. Is that what could possibly be the deciding factor? As he is caught right to the 6's tail, and he is about a lane up, Rick.
Absolutely. We are definitely, this battle is shaping up between these 2 drivers.
Yep.
Looks like we did see Cody Goodwin went off track a little bit. I think that was probably a result of that excess of tire wear we were talking about earlier and loss of grip.
Absolutely, and he's down over 6 seconds now. No way for him to catch up unless there's a caution, but that 70 is stalking. He is on the prowl. Hal's on the prowl in the car. So as we come to, what is this? 13 to go.
Laps, 13 to go.
13 to go. And he is right there. It's the entry in the middle of the corner that the 70 is so good, but then the exit is where the 6 is fast. It's going to be close.
It is. It is absolutely shaping up to be a great finish here at Nashville. Well, not to neglect the rest of the field, we can kind of pop back real quick just to see what's going on.
Absolutely. Let's take a look through the field. So we got the Chris and Chris show for sure. So we got Cody Goodwin in third.
Evan Amick is sitting in fourth. Kenny Bradstock.
Kenny Bradstock in fifth. And Jeff Nani rounding out the other cars that are on the track right now in that sixth place position. A little loose there, coming out of two laps down.
Back with our leaders. Coming up to 10 laps to go.
Yep, 10 to go, and you can just see right there, Rick, how good that 70 car, I mean, maybe a little too good on the entry in the middle, and the 6 just is able to withstand and withhold his lead over that 70 machine. I think if that 70 car could figure out the exit of the corners, this may be a little bit of a different ending.
I think you're 100% correct.
70 get a little bit higher going into turn 1. You see him carry through really, really well. Right there.
I think at this point it's Chris Worrell's race to lose, and every turn, every corner is the difference maker.
Oh, 70 bogged down a lot right there off of exit. You got them. I can hear them over the radio talking between each other. All good and fun. They're talking about who's better at what particular corner and all that fun stuff. So we got some chatter among these drivers, obviously, and that's a beautiful thing with it. You're able to chat with anybody who is on the track. It doesn't have to be teammates; it can be anybody. So as we can see right now, that 70 car taking a little bit, 6 got a little loose, but that 70 taking a little bit of a different approach coming out of the corner. He is right up on the tail. We may see him go side by side here if that 70 gets a big run. He was right there. We pushed up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about. Is his entry in the middle of the corner too hot? Is he pushing it a little too much? I see it may playing into a factor as we are now coming to 7 to go.
They've got some lap traffic ahead of them as well, so it should be interesting by the time we get closer to 5 to go.
Yep, we got cars getting loose out of 4. We got lap cars coming up. We got a heated battle for first and second. And it just seems that the 70 can roll so much better through the center of the corner. It's just amazing how much time he gains, but then he loses it all back up on exit.
Looks like he's trying to run the same line through 3 and 4. Actually ran down a much lower. Well, that 6 was in the wall.
Yeah, 6 tagged the wall. We got a lap car. This is going to definitely play with their lines a little bit. Let's see what they do. It may play with the 70s car exit off of turn 2. Just a tad. Not much. Just a little bit. But able to go by all nice and squeaky clean as we are coming to 5 to go, Rick. 5 to go in the race. This is the time. If you're the 70 machine, you got to go. He's been on the prowl. He's been on the prowl for the last 30 laps. You got to make a move.
I think he's doing his best.
He just pushes up so much when he carries so far into the corner, Rick. When he gets to the apex and he pushes just a little bit too much.
I think he's really worked the heck out of those tires. We've got 40 laps of wear on those tires almost at this point.
Absolutely.
So I think he's probably just doing his best at this point to keep up with the number 6.
Sure. And we see that 77 taking that low line as a 6, and the 70 kind of back up just a little bit. This is definitely going to play a factor going out of turn 4, I believe.
That's the 77 of Evan Amick. We'll see if he moves up to let the leaders battle or stays down and makes it interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's on pace. He's not too far off, but he is right in front of the leaders. Oh, little late decision there by the 77. This is going to definitely play with their lines. You may see the 6 car push up just a tad, and they are right there. 2 to go. Or 3 to go, rather. Not 2 to go. Not yet. We're coming to 2 to go.
We're close. We're close.
It's getting there. It's time for that 70 car to shine. Is he looking at the outside of the 6? Not quite there. He's just right there.
Whoa,
That
whoa.
6 is loose. 6 is loose.
Bobble by the 6.
Takes the lead. That's exactly what I was talking about, Rick. As we see another lap car, this may play a factor. Oh, God, we've seen this before. Tyler Reddick on the last lap. We don't know what's going to happen. But 6 is down. He is right on the bumper of the 70 machine, going down the backstretch, coming into turn 3.
You're going to get the white flag this time, by?
Oh, he's right. Oh, 6 is loose again.
He's pushing it hard. He's trying to get that back. White flag. Final lap of the race.
White flag here at Nashville Super Speedway. We saw a mistake out of the 6 car. Gave Howell the lead as he slides up a little bit. He's going to open the door for the 6 to maybe drop down low going into turn 3 as they are nose to tail.
He's protecting that lead.
And 6 backs it up. 70 slides up the track. They're right there. This is going to be a close finish, a photo finish at Nashville. Who's going to win? It's going to be Christopher.
Oh my gosh. Christopher Howell. That's got a photo finish.
Christopher, this is showing Christopher Worrell won on the scoring monitor by 1/1000th of a second. I think the 6 car won.
Wow. Let's go back and take a look at that, see if we can get a shot of that on the track. Let's jump back and...
Yeah, Rick, I believe the 6 car pulled off the victory. Did he? On the monitor, it says that Christopher Worrell won.
It may be.
Oh my gosh, that is so close.
I'm not sure we've got a better look at that. We'll try to see if we have a different angle. That may be a better angle.
You talk about one of the closest finishes you'll ever see. That 6 machine on the monitor.
Wow.
I mean, they literally you can't get any closer to that, Rick.
You can't. That is just amazing.
And it somehow gave Christopher Worrell the lead.
Well, they may have been celebrating themselves.
I mean, I would if I were them. They put on a heck of a... You know, it says Howell on the leaderboard. It says Worrell on the iRacing stats. I don't know who won, Rick.
Well, race results here are up, and it shows Christopher Worrell is our winner. Christopher Howell is in second. That win delta, if you look at it, was by 0.001.
1/1000th of a second. You can't even do anything that fast. I mean, that was like literally there's no separation.
No
but
separation.
you know, Rick, let's get this top 3 in here if we can. And let's see if we can get the winner in here, maybe some second and third place action, and talk to these guys.
Yep. So I know we can probably bring and get contact with Christopher Howell. I don't believe we have access to the other drivers at this point, but let's add Christopher Howell back into the broadcast booth.
Absolutely.
Chris Howell.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the broadcast.
What a race! What a race, man! You and the other Chris. It was the Chris and Chris show out there. 1/1000th of a second, man. Unbelievable.
Hey, I'm sitting over here with a smile from ear to ear, man. It was just freaking awesome. I loved every bit of it. He actually was taking me to school there the last like 30, 40 laps. He was telling me, how to run it, and it was just awesome.
Absolutely. So what, keeping up with that 6 car was no small feat. How were you able to do it?
Well, I did exactly what he told me to do, to be honest with you. He said, look, don't try to catch me, just stalk me, try to maintain the gap, and when it's time to go, just put the pressure on, and that's what I did.
Absolutely, you did. You took that opportunity when he made a mistake and he slid up the track. You took that lead, but he barely got you. I mean, it was so close coming to the line. I mean, I'm looking at the image right now, and you can't tell because he's down below on the apron, and you're right there at the start-finish line. But what a race out of you two. Fantastic job. That's all I got to say. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You all put on a clinic for the last 20 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was great. And I guarantee you it was great for the broadcast too as well.
Well, we appreciate you jumping here in the booth with us. We appreciate your efforts tonight, and we look forward to the next race.
Yeah, man. I'll see you in the next one.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, John.
Christopher Howe, man. Wow, what a race. What a race.
What a race. What a race. Well,
so looks like I don't know if we can get any more guys in here, but then maybe the driver speaks to you tonight, Rick.
I think that's all we've got pretty much at this point. I think that we've enjoyed our opportunity to broadcast tonight here from Nashville Super Speedway in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Recruitment Race for their Cup League. We will be here again next week. I'm not sure what our venue will be, but I'm sure they will let us know for our final recruitment race for the iRacing Warrior Motorsports League. I am your host, Rick Souza, my co-host tonight, John DeRudris. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Make sure to mark on your calendars May the 4th. That is our league opener at Las Vegas. Like Rick mentioned before, you'll definitely want to tune into that. That is our season opener tonight. So this is John and Rick, IWM Broadcast Network, iRacing Warriors Motorsports. We're signing out.
Good night.